and welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Ronald. If you're new here, as usual, like, share, subscribe so you never miss a bite. As you've seen clearly in the intro, today we are also back at Waubaushene. So Waubaushene is basically a small village or township, like they call them in this case. You are yet to hear so many wonderful things that are coming out of it. One of them, which we're talking about right now, being the garden itself. Well, it's really doing amazing, and this was begun a little while ago, but so far it's been carrying on, and the only way this will work is if people work together. Those of you who don't know, who haven't watched the other videos that I'm already linked on this, Sharon and Peter, as you're going to hear from other people, they are the people who basically kicked off this whole thing, and it's been such a success, and you're going to see so many beautiful things you'll be impressed with. If you're looking for a way to perhaps build something like that in your community to bring people together, please stay tuned. Miigwech for listening. So without further ado, let's get started.
The Waubaushene Community Garden is one of the many projects of the Tall Pines Property Owners Association in Waubaushene. And in 2022, the Federation of Ontario Cottagers Associations awarded Tall Pines honorable mention for their work in the community garden. And this story was picked up by Cottage Life magazine, which you can see here, and they decided to do an article on our community garden as well. And it appeared at the end of the summer. It's called Just Grow With It, and it explains some of the concepts behind the community garden, things like two-eyed seeing things through an Indigenous lens and a Western lens. And we were hoping that this would provide inspiration for other people to do projects that are similar.
Sharon Langfield and Peter Cox a couple of years ago came up with the brilliant idea to create a community garden in Veterans Park on Pine Street in Waubaushene. Their garden was modeled on the Three Sisters Indigenous model, and a number of volunteers came to assist in building it. Tay Township provided some funding through its grants program for it, and the local community, families and kids come and help plant and nurture, water, and harvest the wonderful vegetables in this garden, and they are distributed freely to the community. Peter and Sharon also hold numerous activities in the park, music every Friday night. The Chigamik drummers are often there to celebrate events, and it's a wonderful, wonderful place. Thank you, Sharon and Peter.
This year, we wanted to focus on the importance of water at the garden. And Melissa Spencer made us this beautiful poster, which we had laminated, and we attached it to the water barrel that is available for the kids to use to water the garden whenever they want. There's always little watering cans in there. And it's one of the favorite activities of many of the children. And so we put it in different languages to represent our community. In Anishinaabe-Moan, the words are B'madzawin Awen U Nibi. In French, Lo c'est la vie. In Michif, the language of the Métis people, Lu c'est la vie. And in Luganda,
Amazi.
Mikanak and Dorum. My name is Darlene. My spirit name is White Hawk Woman. My spirit animal is the red-tailed hawk. I am of the Turtle clan, and I live in Port McNichol. Water. It is the blood of Mother Earth, the giver of life. It's the sacred energy that flows within us and between us. Traditionally, the stewardship of water was the sole responsibility of women, but times have changed. Now we must all stand up and protect our water, our Mother Earth. Treat the water and the earth well, for they have not been given to you by your parents. They have been loaned to you by your children. We do not inherit them from our ancestors. We must protect them. Stand up to the politicians who want to sell off our wetlands, our grasslands, our farmland to big corporations for monetary gain. Miigwech for listening.
Go.
Okay, the Waubaushene Community Garden partnered up with the Tay Library to make use of our seed library, and we used many of the seeds that were donated by fellow people in the community, as well as seeds provided by the library to start our garden, both last year in our first year and this year. And so we collected things like flower seeds, fruits, vegetables, herbs. All of those were started by volunteers in our community. And then when they were ready, we planted them in the garden at our seed planting. And from there, we grew our produce, and we've collected some seeds that we will be returning to the library, which means that we are creating this collective between the two of us where we're providing both food and seeds for our community.
So these are some of the corn that we grew this year in the community garden. And this larger one is long, but has the smaller seeds of a more ancient variety. And this one got cross-pollinated, and it has the shorter traditional size, but the seeds are bigger. So we saved these, and we're going to try and grow these bigger seeds again this year in 2024 and see what we get.
So this spring, the Waubaushene Community Garden hosted our very first seed swap, in which the library provided seeds from their seed library, and members of the community brought in their own seeds to share with fellow members. So we set up a table, and we had a bunch of different seeds available where people were able to pick and choose and swap, and it was a lot of fun. It was very well received by the members who came to check it out. And we're already starting to plan our next event for next year. This spring, we also had a seed starting activity for kids at the library. We had several different seeds for the kids to choose from, such as 4 o'clocks. And the kids all had the opportunity to plant seeds into their little containers and get them started ahead of the growing season. And then once those were ready, some of the kids were able to bring them to the community garden to grow in the garden there, or to grow in at their homes. So as a parent, I like to use garden-based learning to teach my kids about where their food comes from and how to grow their own food. And I've recently returned back to university to become a teacher, and I would like to feature those sort of things into my future classroom as well. So I actually took our community garden and used it as the basis for a garden-based learning teaching unit, and I used that as one of my assignments in school to explain the benefits of garden-based learning, why it's beneficial to get the kids outside, get them into nature and learning where their food comes from. And it was a really great way to introduce those concepts to my fellow students and to show my professors my experience with education in a non-traditional format.
One of the art projects that we did at the community garden this year was a community weaving project, and Peter Cox made this frame with string, and the wool was donated by Melissa Spencer. And the way it's done here is you at the top you have the sky, and then some land, and then the water here. And lots of people in the community are taking part in this. And then we hope to hang it outside to decorate the park once the spring comes. Right now it's January, and we're working in the library.
Hi there, I am Sue Doherty. I'm one of the directors for Tall Pines in Waubaushene. And this year, we went together at the community garden, dressed up for Halloween. And we put out some goodies for the kids, some candies, and we had set up a few tables, and we were joined by other members of our community, and it was a fantastic event. There was probably 50 or 60 families that came through our area, and we were able to chat with them, but also share in the wonderful experience of Halloween and giving some kids some treats. But it was also good for us to be together as a community and just show that we care about Waubaushene and we want it to be a great place to live.
Well, it's December 29th, almost the end of the year, and we have a Christmas display here set up, and there's some solar lights that make this you have to use your imagination, but this Christmas tree is run by solar lights, and there's one of our solar panels, and it will be flashing at night. And we have some cedar boughs and ribbons up to make people feel like the community garden is here all the seasons of the year. And the last thing we did for the garden was we got a load of rotted manure from a local hobby farm, and you can see that on there. And we put straw down first, and then we put the manure down. And so it's kind of putting it to bed for the year. And you can see the potato bin is closed up, and we have all the stones except for this one. We have all the stones that the kids painted safely in that box, and we'll pull them out again in the spring. We've had a very mild December, and so right now there's no snow and it's just freezing, and there's still some lavender here, and the sage, the culinary sage, is still here. And I actually picked some lavender this morning for my partner, because he's having trouble breathing, and that's good to help open up your airways. And we also still have some kale here hanging on, and I actually picked some yesterday for my supper. So the garden's actually still producing, and it's the end of December. An important part of the community garden is adding everybody's creativity to beautify the community. And these are medallions that the kids from the Benny Club made when they came to visit in June. And we've got them hanging around the garden to decorate it. We have several sculptures that have been added to the garden by community members. This whirligig, little woodpecker, and carved blue jay and a robin were donated by Darlene Arthur. Her late husband George created those. My favorite thing about the community garden is that little kids and their parents and older adults and seniors can all work together to grow vegetables and create artwork that makes the community beautiful, and that we're growing community together.
Hey, I'm Maggie Moore. I'm involved in the community garden. I've lived in Waubaushene for about 3 years now, and this garden has really made me feel like I'm a part of the community. So some of the ways that we've been involved, we've helped with building the structures for the garden, digging some dirt, finding cool rocks. We get the kids involved and all of that. It's something that I'm often bragging about to people outside of Waubaushene, because our garden is really special in that everybody is welcome. Whether you've been able to come out and help or not, we are really happy to share whatever has grown there with you. So for my part, I decided to grow the local music community. In the summertime, every Friday night from about 6:30 to sunset, we play music out at the park. No digging required, but if you dig it, you can come. It's been really great jamming with the local people. We even have some folks who come just to hear the music and talk music with us. I've learned a lot as a musician, and I've also met some really wonderful local artists who are just building up their careers. If you like music, or if you play music, or if you just want to be part of something in your community, you're very much welcome to come and join us. It's a judgment-free zone, and it's a lot of fun. There's a really cool moment at our Harvest Festival this year. We get our local musician Nick Howell to come and do the music, set things up. I brought a guitar as well so we could jam a bit as well. And we had some visitors from out of town who'd never been to the garden before but were curious about the setup. So they came out, and it turned out he was a guitar player as well. So we got out an extra guitar for him, and we ended up playing for, I think, the next 2 hours. I'm pretty sure we closed out that harvest party. And it was just a really cool way in that it's a welcoming space. And even if you play different genres of music, or if you're a different genre of person, we can all come together and learn from each other. That was really cool.
In 2023, the local resident, Kristen Drury, presented the idea of having a food sharing cupboard to the local Tay Township Council. And she worked with Mary Warnock from the St. Vincent de Paul Food Bank, And they came up with a plan that met with Tay Township's approval, and this food sharing cupboard was created. There were donations of time, money, and expertise, and local Tall Pines resident member Vicky Lucier did the painting on this particular cupboard. So the idea is that people can share food so to deal with food insecurity, which many families are experiencing.
As you can see, there's quite a variety of items that get donated to the cupboard. We have a number of people locally in our community who bring things over to keep the cupboard stocked. Right now it's a little bit emptied out. Often there's maybe twice this amount of items in it. Down here we have soap and toothbrushes and toothpaste. And then up here we have all the things that would need to be brushed off of your teeth with those toothbrushes. This is an ideal place for the food cupboard because it gets a lot of traffic along Pine Street. A lot of people know about it instantly. When it was installed, everyone was talking about it on Facebook and other places too, and by the garden. It's an appropriate place for this food cupboard because it is right next door, as you can see, to the garden, which is where food comes from. So it's a learning experience in sharing and in community and in learning where food comes from.
All right, so what did you think? I know, right? The Waubaushene people are enjoying every fruit of this garden in every way possible, whether it's to do with Halloween, Christmas, or the gardening within summer, or let's just say maybe hang out together playing music. Yes, they do it all. And how do you do it? Well, by committing honestly as a community to bring people together. And you've seen, of course, they do get some funding from the township itself, which is amazing. Well, if you're looking for tips on how to do that, we can help you with that. All you need to do is leave a question or two right in the comment section, and I'll get back to you. Well, thank you for coming to my YouTube channel. I really hope to see you in my next video. Miigwech for listening, and bye now.